Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Altair Chronicles, Bloodlines, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 2 Discovery, Assassin's Creed 2 Multiplayer, Project Legacy, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations, Recollection, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Pirates, Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, and Assassin's Creed Rogue. Well, that's more Assassin's Creed games than I can count on both hands, and definitely more than I can possibly handle, or want to handle, really. If Ubisoft's goal was oversaturation followed by world domination, then they're well on their way to being Bond villains. Which brings us to Assassin's Creed Unity, the first foray into the next generation, and with such a mass array of Assassin's Creed games to choose from, does this iteration bring enough to the table with the new tech to differentiate itself from the white and red noise that is Assassin's Creed? Or is it about time this Creed gets assassinated? Unity. Okay. Assassin's Creed Unity is definitely a looker. From the Parisian architecture to the hordes of cumbersome civilians littering the streets, the lighting, the faces, this woman's hair, all look fantastic. If you can look past the immersion-breaking visual quirks, glitches, and rocky uneven performance, this is one of the best-looking games this generation, and definitely in the Assassin's Creed series. Now, if you ever played an Assassin's Creed game and whilst clambering along the rooftops as though embodying the spirit of someone much more agile than you and thought to yourself, damn, this would be badass if it was cooperative multiplayer. Well, now it is. You and your friends can engage in a wide array of multiplayer activities, including high-stakes heists, where being seen can be the difference between a decent reward and an epic reward, which creates an interesting cooperative dynamic. You can help your pal in trouble, or reap the glorious rewards of being a dick. There are also the vanilla co-op missions, which have you and your crack team running from objective to objective separate from the main campaign. It kind of equates to not much more than just monotonous errand runs, but it does reward players with experience and new loot. Which brings me to my next point. Loot. Assassin's Creed Unity bolsters an impressive array of gear with which you can customize your assassin, from the cosmetic down to the stats. The stats offer marginal benefits, but it's definitely cool to be able to customize the looks of your assassin, even if the stuff you like is quite a bit weaker than the stuff you need.
They're killing us! Oh God, have mercy! They're killing the prisoners in here!
That's enough of that, you degenerate!
One could say this game could have used a few more months in the oven, and that might be an understatement. The game had a bit of a rocky launch of horrible frame rates, giant load times, and strange graphical oddities and glitches that range from hilarious to hilariously useful, and for the most part Ubisoft has been active at patching them out and making amends with freebies and apologies, but I'd be remiss to say if it didn't leave a bad taste. Probably the most expensive beta I've ever been a part of. For every step forward this game makes with controls, it takes a large step back with some truly frustrating quirks. Combat feels slow and more level dependent than skill dependent, and things like guys you didn't even know were there killing you from off screen feels cheap. The climbing mechanic adds a new descend option for just climbing straight down a building, which is nice when it works, but is a nightmare when it doesn't work. Trying to get through windows is its own game about outwitting and tricking the system into doing what you want, and if precision is crucial to your success, you're gonna have a bad time.
Your mother should have drowned you in a tub! You find anyone learning about that?
Quite a bit of stuff seems to be behind some sort of barrier, whether it's chests that require the companion app, or companion website, or companion app website, that sweet looking hood that involves completion of some sort of club competition that was not available at the time of the review, as well as some things just available in the upcoming DLC Dead Kings, which will be available for free. Apology half accepted, Ubisoft. It's also worth noting a lot of gear and supplies seem to be priced to encourage use of the microtransactions, with high-level gear, consumables like health potions and hidden blades which are crucial to the gameplay being ridiculously priced, especially late game, and side missions giving you very small rewards that sometimes feels hard to get ahead. Sure, microtransactions are optional, but the game is impacted by the constant push towards them. Assassin's Creed storylines typically run on two parallels: the past story of the assassins and the present-day story of the guy in a machine reliving the memories of the assassin, which sounds more ridiculous than it is. It does a good job of creating a larger overarching narrative, as though the assassin you're playing is part of a larger plan that resonates with the present-day storyline. Unfortunately for this game, the present-day story arc doesn't actually go anywhere meaningful, and with its conclusion, it makes the game feel more like filler than anything.
Conspiracy, intrigue, a rapidly thickening plot. Add some bestiality and a lecherous priest, and I say you have the beginnings of a beautiful novel.
Assassin's Creed Unity not only lacks polish, but also the plot resolution to feel like a main part of the series and less like mere filler. They tried new things, sure, but sacrificed a lot of what made the series fun in order to cater to them, such as the seamless multiplayer whom elements pour into the single-player experience, with enemies that can out-level you with improper gear, and the odd and unresponsive feeling to combat. It felt less like a game of finesse and more like a game of numbers compared to the other games in the series. At every corner, the game felt rushed, and with Assassin's Creed Rogue coming out on literally the same day, it seems like Ubisoft is just cashing in a successful franchise, and hopefully if they plan on continuing that trend, they can do it a little less shamefully. But should you buy this game? Well, let's break it down. If you have incredible patience and a die-hard love of the series, and none of what I've said sounds like a real problem for you, then you can go right ahead and buy it if you want. If you're just sort of following this series, then you should probably borrow it. You might as well get the story, and aside from the multiplayer, there isn't too much reason to return. The frustrating lack of polish and control makes it a really hard sell. If you think there are just too many Assassin's Creed games out there, or you're just jumping into the series for the first time, you might want to give this one a pass. There are definitely better places to start. And that's the breakdown of Assassin's Creed Unity on Point vs. Point. I'm Eddie Campo, and go eat something. I'm a little bit hungry. That's a lie, I'm a lot a bit hungry. What could I eat though? Oh man, I could eat anything.